Okay, hello everyone, hello traders. My name is Tuns and today I will be your host here. Please take a short moment to read the risk disclaimer before we'll get started. And also please confirm that you can hear me into the chat. Also, if you have any questions, you can type them down into the chat, into the YouTube chat. Also, if you have any suggestions. So I'm waiting also for your questions, and I will be glad to answer to all of your questions during this live webinar. Also, you can visit our website, Learn to Trade, for more informations and more services. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And don't forget, guys, that you can join our VIP Telegram channels as well. Okay, so first of all, we'll start with the US dollar index, because it's very important for you to understand why the US dollar depreciates, drops versus the other important currencies in the short term. So as you can see here on the 4-hour chart, the price has reached an important level here. It was almost to reach this upper medium line of the ascending pitchfork. So, and also it has reached this weekly resistance R1 93.40. So this it was maybe a natural correction on the US dollar index. That's why the US dollar continues to decline, to depreciate versus the other major currencies. So now it has reached the 23.6 retracement level and is almost to reach the medium line of the ascending pitchfork. So this is an important area here. We have an important support area here. Also the S2, S1, and only a breakdown here, a valid breakdown through all these downside obstacles could signal a further decline here on the US dollar index, and a false breakdown here, a rejection, or any other, let's say, reversal pattern here could send the US dollar index higher again in the short term. So let's take a look on the euro versus the US dollar, and you can see here that the price has found support right on the 50% Fibonacci line, right above 38.2 retracement level, and in the short term the price has managed to take out this immediate near-term downtrend line. Okay, so the breakout above this downtrend line, the breakout above R1, the first static resistance 1.1801, here a retest. It has confirmed a potential increase in the short term. Okay, we have here an important resistance, guys, at 1.1835. Let's see how the price reacts here around 1.1835, around the weekly R2 level resistance 1.1842, and also above the daily resistance 1.1840. Okay, guys, I'm waiting also for your questions into the chat. Yes, we will make an analysis from the beginning, from zero, at the end of this webinar. Maybe after we'll talk about a few currency pairs, commodities, indexes, maybe about cryptocurrencies, and we'll talk about trade setups, trading opportunities, and let's hope that we can catch something, and let's hope that, personally, I would like to open maybe a trade during this live webinar, okay, only for you guys. only for those who are live here in this live webinar. Okay, so here, as I've told you, euro versus the US dollar continues to increase as the US dollar index has dropped aggressively, as you seen earlier. And if the price will drop here below these levels, retest, if it will stabilize right below the medium line, below S2 92.34, retest here, maybe a retest here of the 23.6, then it could continue to drop deeper in the short term. Such a breakdown, such a valid breakdown here on the US dollar index will lead to a further growth here in the short term, and euro versus the US dollar will close above R2, above R1, and above 1.1835, and it will continue to increase in the short term towards the daily R2, towards R3, and very important, we have an important upside target here at the medium line of the major descending pitchfork. Okay, I will also, at the end of the webinar, we will take a chart and we will make an analysis from zero, from scratch, and I will show you what tools, what technical tools I'm using. Personally, I'm using the Fibonacci along with the Andrew's pitchfork, so along with pivot points, dynamic, static, support and resistance levels, and other tools. But we will start with, okay, I will try also to read your questions and answer to them. So let's continue, guys. So here, as I've told you, if the price will close above this level and above R2, it could continue to increase towards R3 and towards the medium line of the major descending pitchfork. We can also draw here a Fibonacci retracement, and you can see that the price is traded right above 23.6. A valid breakout here above R2. Consolidation maybe will confirm that the price will approach, will target 38.2 retracement level. Okay, let's continue with our open net positions today. GBP versus the Japanese yen. So we have an open position here, a short position on the British pound versus the Japanese yen, and as you can see here, the price has registered an important increase lately. It has reached the first warning line of the descending pitchfork here, and also we had a rejection here from the daily R1 resistance 156.31, and this drop, this aggressive breakdown here below 152.70 has activated, has confirmed a potential corrective phase in the short term. So the position, the short position runs into profit right now, and we have here a target, and as you can see, right on the 150% Fibonacci line. But in the short term, the price could come back to retest the 23.6 retracement level, also the weekly pivot point, before continuing to drop and approach and reach our target. Okay, Great. UK 100, another a pending order for now. The price has increased as much as 6,843, and we have a buy stop placed at 6,845, guys. Yes, we'll talk about gold as well. Thank you for writing into the chat. Okay, maybe you are wondering why we opened this buy stop position here on the FTSE 100, UK 100. So as you can see here, the price, let's go on the daily chart. Okay, so the price has decreased a little here. It has failed here to stabilize right below this 50% Fibonacci line. It has failed to approach to reach the medium line of the descending pitchfork. So we have a pitchfork here. I've selected 3 points, 1, 2, 3. So the price failed to approach the medium line, signaling that we may have a rebound, an increase in the short term. Yes, we will talk about GBP Canadian versus the Canadian dollar as well. So it has increased. We expected an increase towards the upper medium line after the price's failure here to approach the medium line or to close right below this former low. Okay, so now the price is traded within an up channel far above this uptrend line. So as long as the price is located, is traded, we will talk about the New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar as well. So as long as the price is traded above this uptrend line, the perspective, the outlook is bullish. Okay, guys, and very important, let's go again on the 4-hour chart. And let's take a look here. So the price has jumped right above the upper medium line, signaling further upside continuation. Very important, today the price has retested here the pivot point at 6,757 level. It has registered an aggressive breakout here above this static resistance 6,796, signaling that we may have an important increase in the upcoming days in the short term. Yes, personally I believe that the FTSE 100, the UK 100 will reach the entry level, and it could continue higher. Maybe in the short term we'll have maybe also a retest here of the R1, also the upper medium line retest, maybe a consolidation here before okay, depends on your broker if UK 100, FTSE 100 reached your entry level. Okay, but don't worry guys, and as I've told you earlier, the price could make here a consolidation in the short term, maybe an R1 retest, maybe the upper medium line retest before it will continue higher. Okay, and also a jump, a bullish closure right above R2 will really confirm a further increase on this index. Okay, let's continue guys, and let's talk about New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar. Someone, Tiago, asked me into the chat, and let's talk about this pair as well. So we still have a long position here on the New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar. The price has decreased aggressively during the day, but now it has registered only a false breakdown with great separation right below the S1, below the daily static support 0.7025. It has retested the pivot point 0.7007, and now it looks determined to come back higher. Okay, let's take a look on the 1 hour chart. Okay, so the price is back at our entry level, 0.7050, and if it will close and stabilize above this medium line, just a moment, medium line, then it could continue to increase in the short term, and maybe it will approach again the R1, the weekly resistance. Okay, so here the price has reached the R1. It has failed here to stabilize above this sliding line, this black line. This is a sliding parallel line which acts as a dynamic resistance. I've drawn this sliding line because we had here an important increase, jump above the medium line. The price was rejected from here. That's why we consider this sliding line as an important dynamic resistance. Okay, so the price has decreased in the short term. It has failed to reach our stop loss, and now it could be back running in profit soon if it will close and stabilize above the pivot point, above 0.7047, and if it will stabilize above the medium line, then it could continue to increase in the short term. So the US dollar continues to depreciate versus euro, versus the New Zealand dollar, and also versus the other major currencies, because the dollar index drops like a rock, and it could take out these support levels as well. I will take a look on gas as well. Okay, let's move forward. Yes, personally, yes, you should keep the New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar open. As long as the price also after this false breakout here on the 4-hour chart, let's take a look again. So we had here a false breakdown here with great separation below the daily support, below S1. So we should keep the position open, and let's hope that the price will continue to increase after this false breakdown here, and if it will close and stabilize right above the pivot point. But you can wait for further instructions if the sentiment will change again when we will close the position. Okay, okay, let's take a look also on gas, as I've promised. We had a buy stop, but we closed this buy stop as the price failed to reach the entry level. Let's delete that. So the price has continued to decrease along this downtrend line. It has registered here a false breakdown below S2, and now is struggling, is fighting hard to get back above this downtrend line, and also to get back within the minor ascending pitch force body. But unfortunately we don't have an opportunity right now here. Maybe if the price will continue to increase, if it will register a new higher high, if it will increase and do something like this, if it will jump above this downtrend line, if it will register a valid breakout here above 38.2 retracement level, if it will close right above this former high, then it could continue higher and we may have a new opportunity on natural gas. And also we could have a selling opportunity here on natural gas if the price will drop again below 50% retracement level, and if it will make a new lower low, if it will drop right below 2.44. okay, but let's wait and see what will happen in the short term. Here we could draw a triangle and let's wait for the price to get out from this pattern. If we'll have a downside breakout, then we could look for short opportunities, and if it will have an upside breakout here from this pattern, then we will look for long opportunities. We will send signals, the potential signals, into the VIP group if we'll have an opportunity here on natural gas. GBP versus the Canadian dollar. Someone wanted me to take a look on this one too. Okay, let's take a look here on the 4-hour chart. The price continues to move sideways. Okay, let's delete these from here. One moment, let's delete it. Okay, so the price has rebounded after reaching the weekly S1 static support 1.7303, but we have an important and strong resistance here at 1.7435, guys. So we had another false breakout here, signaling that the pair may decrease a little in the short term again, and only a valid breakout here above this level, above these former highs, could bring us a long opportunity here on GBP versus the Canadian dollar. So if the price will jump, maybe retest, then it could continue higher. Okay, unfortunately the price has failed here to reach again and retest the medium line, signaling that the selling pressure is still high in the short term here on the GBP versus the Canadian dollar. Actually, the pound has decreased aggressively today. I've shown you yesterday earlier the GBP versus the Japanese yen. Also, the pound has decreased aggressively versus the US dollar today. So we'll have an opportunity here only if the price will jump close and stabilize above 1.7435, and maybe if the price will jump again above the medium line, and if it will stabilize above R1, R2 here. And if the price will get out from this minor ascending pitchfork's body, if it will drop below and through this lower medium line, then we could search for short entries here on this pair. Okay, Okay guys, let's talk about silver as well. And I will tell you why I've closed the long position earlier today, because unfortunately we had here this candle, this false breakout with great separation above the R1, above the daily resistance 25.103, above this sliding parallel line. So it was risky to keep it open after this candle here. The price has retested the pivot point and now it goes up. And personally, I hope that we could open a new long position soon on silver again, as the price is almost to reach this downtrend line. So this represents an important dynamic resistance here. A false breakout here with great separation, or maybe bearish engulfing here, could send the price lower again in the short term. So a potential decrease here, a temporary decrease here on silver, could help us to catch a new long opportunity. It will help us to identify a new long entry. Also, if the price will make a valid breakout above this downtrend line, maybe something like this, retest, then we could get a new long entry. Okay, so personally I'm waiting for the price to either make a valid breakout now, or to decrease a little and then to make a valid breakout above this downtrend line and to continue higher. Okay, as you can see here, the price has found strong support again on this medium line of the major descending pitchfork. We had here a bullish engulfing, signaling that the price could rebound, could turn to the upside in the short term. Okay, we'll talk about gold as well. We'll talk about also euro versus the Swiss franc. So I hope that we could come soon with a new buying opportunity here on silver. Okay, if the price will make a valid breakout here above this immediate downtrend line, we could get a new confirmation that the price could continue higher. Okay, and also a false breakout above this downtrend line could maybe bring a temporary retreat in the short term. And as I've told you, a temporary retreat towards the medium line, maybe towards the pivot point, could help us to catch a new upside momentum. Euro versus the Swiss franc. Yes, the price, we have here a long position. Yes, the price decreased significantly again today, and now it has reached a critical support area. Maybe we will close this one if the price will register a valid breakdown below this uptrend line. We will talk about gold as well right after talking about this pair. So let's see here, and let's wait to see how the price reacts here at the uptrend line, here right on the medium line of the descending pitchfork. because we may still have a false breakdown and then to have a new upside momentum in the short term. Let's wait and see, and I will update you on the VIP Telegram group if we should close the position with a loss. Okay, let's wait and see. These things happen in trading. Okay guys, let's talk about gold, and let's take a look on the 4-hour chart. So as I've told you in my previous live webinar, gold could continue to increase and it could approach and reach fresh new highs if the US dollar will continue to decrease, if will depreciate versus the other important and major currencies. Okay, so as I've told you in the previous webinar, the price has found strong support right below 61.8. It has jumped above the sliding line and now is trading above. One moment guys, let's delete these lines here from here, and also the Fibonacci lines. Okay, so and now it has registered a breakout above the upper medium line, which represented strong dynamic resistance. Breakout here, retest of the broken upper medium line, also retest of the daily pivot point 1725, and now it looks determined to approach the weekly R1 1749. Also the price is challenging the medium line of the ascending pitchfork. Okay, upper medium line, lower medium line. Will be very important here for the price to stabilize right above the medium line and also to take out the weekly resistance to be able to continue higher and to get out from this range here. Okay, so as I've told you, only a new higher high, if the price will register a new higher high, if it will jump and stabilize above 1755, also above the 50% retracement level, then it could continue higher on the short to the medium term. Okay, so gold could continue higher if the US dollar will continue to depreciate, if it will continue to drop, if the US dollar index will continue to drop. Okay, and a potential breakout here could bring us a new opportunity. Okay, so it remains to see how the price will react here, if it will make a valid breakout above the medium line, if it will take out also the R1, then we could think that the price of gold could continue higher. Or if the price will register only a false breakout here above this medium line, if it will fail to stabilize above it, if it will register a false breakout here above the R1, then we may have a temporary decrease in the short term, and a temporary decrease here could help us to catch another buying opportunity. Okay, So the price of gold is strongly bullish in the short term. Okay guys, let's take a look also on the USD versus the Canadian dollar. I've sent you and I've published it today also a video analysis on this pair. We will not, and as I've told you in that video analysis, the selling pressure remains high as long as the price stays right below this minor downtrend line. And let's see what will happen in the upcoming hours. A valid breakout above this downtrend line, jump and stabilization somewhere above this pivot point, this weekly pivot point 1.2583 could lead to and could bring us and could confirm a further increase in the short term towards the former higher high 1.2647 here. Okay, so if the price maybe jumps above the pivot point, above the downtrend line, retest could signal that the price could increase towards these levels here, towards R1, towards this former higher high. Okay, there are dozens of messages and questions here on the chat. Okay, so if the price will jump and stabilize above the pivot point, above the minor downtrend line, it could continue higher, or if it will drop and stabilize right below the S1, the weekly static support, then it could continue to drop towards this lower medium line here. As I told you in the video analysis posted on the YouTube channel, the price could develop here a potential head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders pattern, reversal pattern. The price needs confirmation here, so we need a confirmation here. The price has jumped above this major downtrend line. It has decreased, testing and retesting this downtrend line, but we still need confirmation before going long in the short to the medium term. Okay, so a new higher high here if the price will jump above 1.2647, if it will jump and stabilize above R1 from this area. So we are still in a support area here, as long as the price is traded right above this downtrend line, above the lower medium line. So as long as the price continues to stay right above this static support area, above this confluence area, we may still have an important increase, and the price could still confirm a potential bullish reversal here on the US dollar versus the Canadian dollar. So the upside reversal will be confirmed if the price will increase and if it will jump and stabilize above this higher high, above 1.2747, guys. And if the dollar index will continue to drop in the short term, then the price could fall below this lower medium line, which could bring us new selling opportunities. US dollar versus the Japanese yen. So the US dollar depreciates also versus the Japanese yen. We had yesterday a buy stop here on this pair. If the price would have jumped above the minor downtrend line and above these former highs, but we closed the buy stop pending order as the price has decreased, has reached our stop. So we had here a temporary decline, rebound from the upper medium line, only a false breakout here above the weekly pivot point. So now the price continues to drop and it has reached the S1 109.68, guys. Yes, I will talk about the US 100 right after talking about this pair. So if the price will close right below today's low, below 109.66, below S1, then it could continue to drop in the short term. But guys, you should keep in mind that this pair is still bullish despite this temporary decline. Okay, so if the US dollar index will jump higher again, and if the Nikkei stock index will increase again, then we may have a new upside momentum on the USD versus the Japanese yen. Let's hope that we'll have a new long entry soon on this pair. Okay, US 100. Yes, the index continues to increase only because the US dollar continues to depreciate in the short term. So personally, I've decided to close the long position because we had here an important upside movement. The price has dropped below the weekly R1 resistance. Okay, and personally I was expecting a broader correction in the short term, but now the price seems determined to continue to increase. Okay, so the perspective remains bullish if the price will close and stabilize right below this former high. So if the price will close this 4-hour bullish candle right above the former high, then it should continue, it could continue, and it should continue to increase in the short term. Okay, but don't worry guys, we will come with other signals. Don't worry about this one. Okay guys, let's take a look again on the GBP versus the Japanese yen. Yes, it's traded right below the pivot point, below 23.6, and it could continue to drop. And let's take a look also on Bitcoin. The outlook is still bullish as long as the price continues to stay right above this uptrend line. The price has jumped right above 150% Fibonacci line. It has decreased a little today to retest this broken dynamic resistance, and maybe it will continue to increase if it will stay right above the pivot point. and if the price will register a new higher high here. So if it will come back higher from the pivot point, if it will jump above the immediate higher high, if it will close above it, retest it, then it could continue higher in the short term. One moment, guys, because I want to show you something here on Bitcoin. So as I've said, the outlook remains bullish. So the price was trapped here in a minor down channel between this upper medium line and the 50% Fibonacci line of the minor descending pitchfork. It has registered an upside breakout, a valid breakout above this upper medium line, continuing to increase towards the next upside target. Okay, and here we have the first warning line if the price will continue to increase. Here we have the all-time high. In one moment, guys. So as you can see here, let's add also the relative strength index, RSI. So the RSI indicates and shows us that we have a bearish divergence here on the 4-hour chart, and if the price will eventually drop below this immediate uptrend line, if it will register a valid breakdown, so drop, retest, then it could indicate an important corrective phase here on Bitcoin. But as I've told you, as long as the price continues to stay right above this uptrend line, the perspective, the outlook, the bias is still bullish. So we have here a signal, a bearish divergence here on the 4-hour chart, but it is not enough for us to consider going short from here, because the price has jumped above 150% Fibonacci line. Now is retesting the weekly pivot point here, and it could continue higher if it will jump, close and stabilize right above the immediate higher high. Okay, simply amplified, we talked about FTSE 100, UK 100. Let's take a look again. So as I've told you earlier, the price could continue higher, could continue to increase on this index after jumping right above the former highs. It has registered an important and aggressive breakout here above the former highs, above this upper medium line, so it could continue to increase in the short term. Maybe we'll have here maybe several retests of the R1 of the upper medium line, but a new higher high here closing above R2 could really confirm a further increase here on this index. Okay, okay guys, if you have other questions, if you want me to take a look on other assets, on other pairs, commodities, index, please, I'm waiting for your questions, also for your suggestions. Okay, let's take a blank chart and let's make a technical analysis from scratch, only for you guys. So let's take a look here on the US dollar versus the Swiss franc. So we had an important decrease. The price, just a moment guys, so we had an important decrease here on this pair. The price has found strong support here around 0.8757 level, and if we'll take a look here on the 4-hour chart, so the price has jumped above the downtrend line, signaling that we may have and we could have a bullish reversal. And now, very important, very important, let's draw here an uptrend line connecting these two lows. And as you can see, the price has violated the uptrend line, signaling a corrective phase, a broader corrective phase here on the 4-hour chart. Also, the price failed here to jump above R1, the weekly resistance. Here we had a bearish engulfing right below R1, right on the R2 daily resistance. Breakdown below the pivot point, and also here, which is most important, valid breakdown below the weekly support S1 0.9374, also through the uptrend line. Okay, and now we should draw a Fibonacci retracement here tool to identify potential downside targets, right? So we know that we have here a corrective phase after this breakdown here below the S1 through the uptrend line. So now we should look for potential targets, downside targets. So now it's traded right below 23.6, and the next downside target is here at the S2. But as long as the dollar index continues to drop, the price, the pair US dollar versus the Swiss franc, will continue to drop here. Okay, and if it will close also below this static support S2, weekly support 0.9321, then it should continue to drop towards the daily S2, towards the weekly S3 pivot. Okay, static support, and also towards the 38.2 retracement level. So it could even if we'll have maybe temporary rebounds, maybe here test and retest, the price could continue to drop as long as the price will stay right below this new downtrend line, minor downtrend line, as long as the US dollar index continues to drop. Yes, as I've told you about the UK 100, FTSE 100, let's take a look again when we'll end this webinar after I will finish here with this analysis. I will talk about FTSE 100. Okay, so as I just told you, the bias is bearish here as long as the price will stay right below this minor downtrend line, and it could approach S3 and 38.2 retracement level. We have here an important support area. As you can see, we have here former lower lows. Okay, former lows here. Now let's try to draw also a descending pitchfork here. So if you want to use the Andrews pitchfork trading tool, you can select it, depends on your platform. You have the Andrews pitchfork also in the MetaTrader 4 and 5 platforms, also on other trading platforms. You have it here in Trading View, and you can select from inside pitchfork, modifiers, shift pitchfork and pitchfork, and you have to select 3 points, 3 pivots, and draw it. Okay, let's delete these levels from here. And you should know that the price could continue to drop here on the US dollar versus the Swiss franc if it will stabilize here right below, also right below the medium line. So now it has dropped through the medium line. It could test and retest it before it will continue to drop here. Okay, so when you draw a descending pitchfork, you can use the medium line as a potential target. If the price drops below the medium line and stabilizes right below the medium line, then it could continue to drop towards the lower medium line. Okay, and when we use an ascending pitchfork, let's draw one here. You can use the medium line as a first upside target. You can see here that the price has reached the medium line, it has increased a little, it has jumped again, it has stabilized right above the medium line, continuing towards the upper medium line or higher. Okay, and as you can see here, the price dropped again below the upper medium line, retested the medium line, we had another increase here, but here this bearish engulfing right on the upper medium line around R1 on the R2 has signaled a potential correction here on the US dollar versus the Swiss franc, and now the price is traded below the medium line and it could continue lower towards 38.2 towards the lower medium line if it will stabilize right below 23.6. and also guys, as I've told you, right below the medium line here. Okay, UK 100 here. As I've told you earlier, maybe a retest or a consolidation here right above the upper medium line, right above the R1, above the former highs could happen. So the price has retested the R1, the upper medium line, and now it looks determined to increase again. And if the 4-hour candle here will close above the current level, if it will register a false breakdown here below the upper medium line and through the R1, so if we'll have here a false breakdown with great separation, so the price decreased, drop it right below R1, right below the upper medium line, and if it will close around these levels, far above this now static support levels, we could get a signal that we have strong buyers on the FTSE 100 and the index could continue to increase. So you should keep the open position for those who the price reached on some platforms, trading platforms, the price reached the entry level. Personally, I still believe that the index could continue higher after retesting these levels, if it will make maybe a consolidation here on the short term, and as I've told you, a bullish closure right above the R2, above the entry level, above 6,946 could really confirm that the index will continue to increase. And as you can see here, the price could try to approach and to reach again the channel's upside line in the upcoming period. Okay, Joel, we already have here at 7,100 we have a take profit point, so let's see if the price will continue to increase. We'll come back with further instructions in the VIP Telegram group, but we will keep this take profit here and also our stop loss right below this former low for now. But if the price continues to increase, we will maybe drag our stop loss below the weekly static support, below S1, right below these lows here. If it doesn't continue to move higher, yeah, we will come back with further instructions, but as it looks here and the price action suggests that the index could continue higher, so a further increase is favored. Okay, and don't worry, if the sentiment changes, we will come back and we will send you other instructions in the VIP Telegram group. Okay, so if this candle closes around these levels, the current level, and indicates a false breakdown here below R1 and below the upper medium line with huge separation. This means that the bulls, the buyers, are very strong in the short term and they could drive the price higher. Okay, okay guys, that's it for today. I hope that you enjoy it, and I hope that you found and get important informations from this live webinar. Don't forget, guys, to subscribe to our YouTube channel, to visit our website for more information, for services, for getting all our services. And also don't forget, guys, that you can join our VIP groups, Telegram groups, okay? And you can go premium by accessing this link, Learn to Trade Go Premium, to have access to our Telegram group. Okay, guys, unfortunately we didn't open at the trade during this webinar, but I really hope that in the upcoming webinars we'll open live trades, and I hope that we'll have more time for identifying opportunities during the webinar, during the live webinar. So have a great day, guys, have a great week, and I'm waiting for you guys to get back